A century ago, Korea's top hunter, Min Si-woo, found himself stranded in a monster-ridden dimension. His victory over Earth's Demon King was short-lived. His ticket home? Slaying a dragon-like beast, a beast harboring a core within. The key to his planetary escape. Years of relentless battles culminated in victory. His legendary healing prowess proved invaluable. The core was his. He consumed the stone and prepared for his return journey. Reunion with his disciples and brother awaited. He awoke in a verdant forest, but not alone. A mysterious entity shared his body. Fry, the being within. He rose, disoriented. The landscape was unfamiliar. Fry was astonished. How could he not recognize home? That's just bizarre. Si-woo reminds his companion that Earth's terrain varies greatly. Location is key. He then analyzes the surrounding mana flow. It feels eerily similar to a gate's interior. Checking his own mana reveals an infuriating truth. His stats are nerfed again. Dimensional travel always comes with a price. His first trip off-world, a century ago, his stats plummeted. History repeats itself. He's down to a mere 20% of his original power. Infuriating doesn't begin to cover it. Even Fry is enraged. Si-woo's recovery is paramount. Without it, his devastating skills are unusable. Si-woo shares the frustration. Regaining his lost power will take a decade at least. Upon hearing this, Fry wants to terminate Si-woo's current contract immediately. His mana's a joke, utterly worthless to him. Their argument escalates, and we cut to a woman, breathless and desperate, running for her life. An orc is hot on her heels. Her teammates are nowhere in sight. She's completely lost and panicking. But more importantly, why the hell is there an orc this deep in the dungeon, this early on? It doesn't make sense. Suddenly she trips, and just as the orc lunges, Si-woo obliterates it with a single, devastating punch. And the best part? He doesn't even glance at the orc. That's how little of a threat it posed. Si-woo turns to the terrified woman and needs confirmation. Is this Earth? She manages a shaky yes. He presses further. Korea? What year is? She stammered a reply to him. He continues his questioning. Korea? And the year? She confirms a simple yes. The year, 2037, she clarified. 2037. The number sparked something in him. He was pulled into another dimension. When? 2027, if his memory served. A century there, only a decade here? Si-woo inquires about the current president. Choi Dae-soo, she replies. Si-woo's stunned. He knows that name, and judging by his face, it's not a fond memory. His expression darkens, words muttered under his breath. Strange mutterings fill the air. Is this guy role-playing? She wonders. Si-woo, the regressor, asks another question. The mana feels off. Are they in a gate? He needs confirmation. Yes, she quickly affirms. The tutorial tower, she elaborates. Tutorial tower? The term is new to Si-woo. She explains, filling in the gaps. The tower emerged years ago, a gateway for aspiring hunter. Conquer it, unlock your potential, gain powerful skill. The higher the awakening rank, the greater the rewards. Imagine recruitment by the elite guilds. Unsurprisingly, everyone's in a frantic race to conquer the tower. Su recalls simpler times when awakening was straightforward. No elaborate trials, just pure power. His understanding is simple. Conquer the tower, escape this place. He inquires about the estimated time. The girl estimates 8 weeks on average. Exceptional skill, however, could cut it down to 6. The record? 3 weeks, held by prodigy Ryujiva, a second-generation hunter, a legend in the making. But our protagonist remains unimpressed. Suddenly, a colossal presence looms. A monstrous, mutated tiger materializes. They encounter a troll tiger. Terror grips the girl as the monstrous beast appears. Shu remains lost in his thoughts. He ponders the current record holder. 3 weeks to clear the tower? Pathetic. Far too slow, but with his nerfed ability, can he even do better? The tiger salivates, eyeing its next meal. The duo are about to become a snack. The tiger pounces. Shu, still deep in thought, strategizes his tower approach, refusing interruption. He casually punches the beast. Without a glance, without a pause. One punch. Jaw shattered. Shu's mind is made up. And 5 days will suffice. 5 days pass. We cut to Min Se-jun, inside the Empire Guild headquarters. An urgent report arrives. Someone just conquered the tutorial tower. Upon hearing this, Jun calculates. Only 8 weeks have passed since the trial began. Clearing the tower so quickly. Impressive. But the assistant's next words are stunning. The victor's name isn't on any roster. No batch number, no entry record. They're a complete phantom. And now, this enigma is causing a frenzy outside. The assistant reveals the individual's identity to Si-jun, and Si-jun's eyes widen in disbelief. The face is hauntingly familiar. It's Young. His brother vanished for a decade. Meanwhile, back with Si-woo and his companion, the woman is utterly perplexed. She's utterly baffled. How could he possibly clear the tower in just 5 days? But witnessing Siwoo obliterate the final monster, the answer is undeniable. Tutorial complete. System confirmed. Calculating Siwoo's stats. System error. Failure. Gate opens. Siwoo exits. Next chapter unlocked. Outside the tower, the examiner awaits. Whispers follow Siwoo. A giant arrives. Unimpressed. Team 2's leader. The examiner notices. Panics. Rapid-fire briefing. 2 graduates. 1 unregistered. Anomaly detected. The giant assesses Siwoo. Pristine condition. Impossible. Too weak to be unscathed. Unlikely survival. Intrigued. Examiner shoved aside. He decides to confront Siwoo directly. Who in the hell are you? He demands. And why isn't your name in the logbook? To this, Siwoo calmly replies, I didn't use the entrance. The brute scoffs in disbelief. Everyone who goes in, he argues, has to come out the same way. How did you leave without ever entering? Siwoo, however, remains utterly unfazed. He refuses to entertain the behemoth's bluster. This nonchalance infuriates the hulking man. Enraged, he jabs a finger at Siwoo. You imbecile! He suspects Siwoo used some cloaking ability to slip past unnoticed. He delivers a chilling threat. Tell me the truth, he warns. Or you're a dead man. But Siwoo's expression remains unchanged, fueling the loudmouth's rage even further. His verbal attacks escalate in their intensity. Unfortunately for him, Siwoo's patience has worn thin, especially when the offender's breath could knock out a dragon. Without a second thought, he silences the obnoxious windbag. The instigator clearly craves a brawl, and Siwoo's more than happy to oblige. Adding insult to injury, Siwoo delivers another verbal blow, mocking the repugnant breath. That's the last straw. The brute takes the bait. Fists clenched, he lunges at Siwoo. Siwoo remains impassive. The inevitable unfold. Right under Guild Master Sajuan's watchful eye, Siwoo's antagonists now lie scattered on the floor. Chaos erupts among the staff. Panic sets in. The reported troublemaker has just taken down security, vanished without a trace. Guild Master C demands immediate review of the security footage. The footage reveals the brutes charging Siwoo, but in a flash, Siwoo becomes a blur, too fast for the camera to capture. The 3 attackers lie unconscious. A staff member reports. Siwoo neutralized 5 hunters in total. His exit was unseen, his departure a mystery. The only plausible explanation is that Siwoo employed stealth techniques. Si-jun disagrees. He observed no tricks, no deception. Siwoo's speed was simply astonishing. Sajuan is absolutely certain that Siwoo, his brother, unchanged. After a decade, he turns to his staff, issuing a command. Find him, Si-jun commands. Every Empire Guild member mobilize immediately. But no confrontations. Absolutely not. This individual is not to be engaged. A polite introduction will suffice. Escort him here. I will speak with him myself. The staff scrambles. Si-jun's mind races. Where had Siwoo been hiding? Why reappear now? This sudden emergence, unsettling. His disappearance and return reek of unanswered questions. There had to be a motive, compelling one. Had Siwoo been in Korea this whole time, the Empire Guild would have known. He would have visited multiple times. The burning question remained. Where exactly had Siwoo been? His gaze shifted to the girl who accompanied Siwoo. She quickly dismisses any attention. She insists she has absolutely no ties to him. Their only connection? Exiting the tower together, purely coincidental. Sajuan buys it. He believes her. He's genuinely stunned by her speed in clearing the tower. Her quick completion means only one thing to Saju. She's acquired some seriously impressive skill. Flustered, the girl blushes at the praise. Humbly, she admits to obtaining an A-rank skill. That's a major accomplishment. And see, Jun's already thinking recruitment, Empire Guild. In fact, he promises a contract tailored just for her. His only hope? She'll join their ranks. Overwhelmed with joy, the girl beams at the offer. She accepts without a second thought. Enter an arrogant newcomer oozing with condescension. His opening act? Insulting the Empire Guild's reputation. Sajuan instantly recognizes the loudmouth. He issues a sharp warning. Watch your tongue. That's Hunter Ryu G1, a force to be reckoned with. An S-rank hunter, he commands the formidable Geometry Gang Guild. At his side, Choi Sang-il, another S-rank hunter leading the prestigious White Lion Guild. They've caught wind of the unregistered Awakens Tower conquest. The one who cleared it all. Ryu G1 is stunned. A single person decimated the entire security team. Judging by the carnage, this was a one-sided beatdown. Ryu knows this individual possesses immense power. Choi Song-gil concurs, and that's precisely why he wants this mystery awakened found. A high-grade skill could mean a future top-tier powerhouse. Neither guild master will let this talent escape. He's a prize worth fighting for. Ryu Ji-won proposes a challenge. Finders keepers. Whoever finds this awakened first claims him. All's fair in this high-stakes hunt. Finders keepers. Choi Sung-gul agrees wholeheartedly. Their solo searches for the awakened newcomer leave no room for teamwork. Time is of the essence. The hunt begins immediately. First contact wins and must alert the others. Ray Ji-won departs. With a parting shot, he boasts he'll find the awakened first, rendering their efforts pointless. He tells them not to bother even trying. But Seo-jun might have other plans. Ray Jae-won, departing, commands his assistant Jeon-sik to mobilize all C and D-rank hunters from Gumsan's team A. The search party is deployed. Jeon-sik is uncertain about their target. Ray Ji-won drops a bombshell, the Si-jun's brother. Meanwhile, Siwoo feasts on fried chicken at his favorite restaurant. Freya is utterly bewildered. Of all the possibilities after returning to Earth, Siwoo chose this. A century passes and he feasts on fried fowl. Post-poultry feast, he wanders the streets. Freya's curiosity peaks once more. He's compelled to ask, where's SIU going? SIU offers no explanation. It's obvious, isn't it? He's finally homeward bound. He steps into his modest abode. Nostalgia floods him, rushing in for dinner. Mom cooking, dad with his newspaper. Those moments, gone, lost to time. His home, a decaying husk, empty, deserted. His parents' faces, forgotten, forgetting, a divine gift, some say. For him? A curse. 100 years in a demonic realm. Endless carnage on an alien and brutal planet. Senses dulled. Time stopped. His very being weathered for an eternity. Oblivion's shadow threatened to consume him entirely. He clung fiercely to the remnants of his past. His siblings, his disciples, anchors in the fading light. These memories defied the passage of time, refusing to dim. They transformed into a consuming obsession, a relentless grip on the past, but it was his lifeline. This obsession fueled his survival for a century. Even Fry recognizes the spectral emptiness of this place. A chill deeper than the demonic. Siwoo journeyed here seeking solace in memory. His pilgrimage complete, it's time to break free. He sets his sights on the future. He yearns to reconnect with the companions of his youth. His brother, Se-jin, is first on his list. A reunion he desperately craves, but his quest for connection takes a dangerous turn. A heavily armed gang emerges from the shadow. They encircle him, closing in from all sides. A fiery-haired figure commands the menacing group. He declares himself beyond Hakam. The drug guild's C-rank hunter, Siwoo, remains utterly unfazed. These lowlifes and their status are beneath his notice. He's not interested in a petty squabble. Feeling mocked, Hakam throws the Vajra name in Siwoo's face again. But again, Siwoo's nonchalance is absolute. He simply doesn't care. The verbal jabs continue, with Siwoo effortlessly parrying each insult with a sharper one of his own. Hakam's frustration mounts. His patience is rapidly dwindling. Enraged, he decides to teach Siwoo a lesson. Hakam unleashes a brutal punch. The devastating blow sends Siwoo flying backward, crashing into the wall. Hakam and his crew are smugly satisfied. They think they've finally silenced him. But Siwoo remains remarkably composed. Oscar remains motionless, utterly unfazed. The fools mistake his stillness for unconsciousness. They think a single blow knocked him out cold. Suddenly, a system notification appears before Siwoo. It details Hakam's just used ability. The skill, Lightning Flash, a C-grade ability granting instantaneous, doubled speed. Movement becomes a blur, limited only by friction. Your body's the brake on the speed boost. Not a bad skill, Siwoo thinks. He casually offers it to Fry for consumption. Frey's first skill acquisition since returning to Earth. He's game to try it out. Oscar rises to his feet. Without a word, he explodes towards Hakam with a brutal slap. The force sends Hakam crashing into the ground. The impact shatters the earth. The recent laughter of the goons dies in their throat. Terror replaces their arrogance. SIU offers his hand. Frey's given a chance to consume the scoundrel's skill. A dark magic circle materializes beneath them. The skill extraction is swiftly completed. Savoring a skill after so long is satisfying. But Fry can't ignore the taste. It's far less appealing than their earlier chicken. Meanwhile, a humiliated Hakam, with his pride shattered, orders his minions to swarm SIU. Like fools, they rush in, deluded into thinking they have a chance. SU instructs Fry to utilize their new skill. Fry obeys and explodes into action. He moves with blinding speed, annihilating every single opponent. They fall like insignificant insects. One enemy charges Siwoo, attempting a skill strike, but Siwoo effortlessly neutralizes the pathetic attack. A brutal knee to the gut, blood splattered, a dirty vital point strike, an attack exploiting weaknesses. Such skill misused. Siwoo will show him how it's done. Siwoo appropriates the technique. Before total annihilation, Se-jun arrives. One look, a reflection recognized. Brotherhood mirrored in their eyes. The battlefield melts away. A heartwarming reunion. But how did this happen? Rewind 20 years, the gates emerge. Needless to say, catastrophe unleashed. Monsters appeared. The first awakened arose. Power surged as gates opened. No law, no order, just chaos. It was an age of brutality, a world of chaos, where innocence was lost. Siwoo and his younger brother, Si-jun, orphaned at a young age, fought tooth and nail for survival. Siwoo, a first-generation awakened, abandoned school to become a hunter, providing for his vulnerable baby brother. Si-jun was merely an infant then, but Siwoo, ever the devoted brother, shielded Si-jun through those dark years. Now, Siwoo accompanies Si-jun to their new luxurious home. Opulence surrounds them. Si-jun, completely enchanted, questions if the splendor was bought with debt or Siwoo's own hard-earned success. Siwoo attributes their fortune to lesson learned from his elder brother. It's their shared haven now. A room awaits Siwoo too. Overwhelmed, Siwoo struggles to reconcile the man before him with the brother lost a decade ago. 10 years vanished. Siwoo, overflowing with emotion, can't stop talking. The joy of raising his little brother again consumes. His brother's hard work is evident, filling him with gratitude. A deep sense of thankfulness washes over him. Siwoo's outpouring leaves Si-jun with no doubt. This is his brother, truly. Si-jun reveals his relentless search, his yearning for answers. He demands to know everything. The where, the why, the reason for this long-awaited return. Siwoo has a lifetime of stories to tell. A century of adventures awaits, but these secrets can only be shared in the intimacy of a heart-to-heart. Later, they sit together. Siwoo finally revealing his past. 10 years ago, Siwoo triumphed over the fourth Demon Lord. A Demon Lord artifact then hurled him into another dimension. Banished by the defeated Demon Lord's relic, there he encountered Predator, a being capable of stealing skills. For a century he honed the stolen power, hunting dragons capable of dimensional magic. He vanquished the Dragon King and claimed its dimensional orb. Finally he could return home. His companion, Predator, also known as Fry, crossed over with him, now residing within Siwoo. This revelation chills Si-jun to the bone. Si-jun is utterly horrified. Siwoo then casually drops the bomb, phrase essentially a parasite. Siwoo acknowledges the absurdity, but swears he's telling the truth. He assures his brother he's completely serious. Si-jun's faith in his brother is absolute, considering the world's dramatic transformation over the last 2 decades. This story barely phases him, no matter how outlandish it seems. He's simply relieved his brother's returned. With Siwoo's confession out in the open, he urges his brother to reciprocate, to reveal everything from the past decade. He especially needs to understand how someone like Choi Dae-soo became president. Since Siwoo's disappearance, Dae-soo has shamelessly claimed credit for defeating the fourth Demon King, using the title of greatest first-generation hunter. And his fabricated fame, he seized the presidency. Now, his policies actively undermine the Empire Guild. But with Siwoo's return, Si-jun worries about what that audacious fool might attempt against his brother. Su finds the situation amusing, not concerned. He's practically laughing at the absurdity. He can't believe Choi Dae-soo, a clear incompetent, pulled off such a massive con with a fabricated double S rank. Speaking of Choi, Siwoo suddenly recalls the earlier attack. He remembers the gang leader's claim of belonging to Gum Gang Guild. He wonders if they're connected to Choi Dae-soo. Are they Choi Dae-soo's lackeys? Siwoo needs to know. His brother's response is a definitive no. Choi Dae-soo leads the Infinite Guild, not Gum Gang. South Korea is ruled by 7 prominent guilds, the Heptagram. They are the country's most powerful hunter organization. Si-jun's Empire Guild is one, a member of this elite group. The others, Infinite, Vajra, White Lion, Fighting Warrior, Azure Flower, and Frozen Soul. These guilds represent the pinnacle of hunter power. Vajra is led by the second-generation hunter, Ryu Ji-hwan. The mere mention of his name ignites Se-jun's fury. That viper is targeting his senior brother, freshly returned after a decade. After 10 years, he's back and already in danger. So inquires about his brother's loyal followers, those who always remained by his side. Se-jun reveals they've been separated for some time. Recently out of touch, Xiaolong returned home. Kongyoa is under Choi Dae-soo's thumb. This news takes Siwoo by surprise. He hopes Min-jin remains, contrary to his expectations. Devastating news hits. Min-jun's dead. Shockwaves ripple through our protagonist. No hesitation, no delay. The interrogation begins. Who killed him? Se-jun reveals the chilling truth. Min-jun's body vanished. The killer? A ghost lost in the shadow. Hunter versus hunter. Or a rogue awakened. Only these could take down one of their own. Even the hunter crime scene investigation was involved. But the case remained ice cold. Truth bombs detonate, leaving Su reeling. Each revelation a brutal blow. What about this HCS? SIU demand. The answer unfolds. HCS, the Hunter Special Investigation Unit, a global force, combating hunter-related crime on the front line. HCS, judge, jury, and executioner for awakened criminal. The Hunter Police, the new faction, piques SIU's interest. He probes his brother for any connection to the agency. Sejun instantly grasps his brother's insinuation. He sees his brother's desire to join HMC. If it's an investigation you're after, Sejun's guild's intel team is at your disposal. No need to involve HMCs directly. Siwoo's ambitions extend beyond mere information gathering. He reminds his brother, they deal with murder cases. It's not suitable for you right now. Rest first, recover fully, then decide your next move. Siwoo reminds his junior, I fought for a century in another world. I've seen it all. I'm not lacking in experience. Sejun, out of arguments, reluctantly agrees to his brother's wishes. He connects his brother with Yoji of Frozen Soul, a manager at the agency. Yoji works as a manager at the Frozen Soul Hunter agency. Thrilled, Siwoo anticipates the opportunity. Sejun notices Siwoo's unchanged face, senses a shifted aura surrounding him. This piques Sejun's curiosity about the old world's transformative impact on Siwoo. What drastically changed him? Meanwhile, our protagonist investigates HMC and encounters a shocking revelation. HMC's Gangbuk district team leader is none other than Hwang Jong, a formidable 1.5th generation hunter. Siwoo knows Hwang Jong intimately. 2 days pass, and we're at HMC headquarters in Gangbuk district. Inside, a ponytailed man rages. He's infuriated by yet another rookie foisted upon his team from above. As team leader, another rookie under his command is a major annoyance. You guessed it. It's Jong-gu. He remembers a time when battles were chaotic and unpredictable. Brute strength ruled the day. Hunters wrote their wills before missions, expecting the worst. Returning alive was never a guarantee. He almost didn't a decade ago during a near-fatal raid. Rookie mistake. Almost cost him everything. The wound was lethal. His death would have crippled the party. He was their powerhouse, but a single healer with extraordinary gifts pulled him back. And we all know who that was. Speaking of whom, he just walked in. Byung-hoo. Siwoo greets his old friend using his former name. He calls him by his old name. Why the hell did you change it to Jog Byung-hoo? He reminds Byung-hoo of his life-saving abilities. The impossible one, the very skills that snatched him from death's grip. Back then he was a lifesaver. Literally. Recognition dawns on Byung-hoo. He's completely stunned when he sees Hunterman Siwa standing right there. Siwa's presence is the absolute last thing he anticipated. Later, Byung-gu officially introduces Siwoo to the Gangbuk team. Byung-gu makes it crystal clear that Siwa's every need must be met. His abrupt about-face doesn't go unnoticed. A female staff member's disappointment is evident. Just moments before, their supposedly iron-fisted leader was gripe about the new recruit. Now he's a complete pushover. The man beside her silences her with a sharp warning. The team leader's reaction speaks volumes. This rookie is anything but ordinary. Meanwhile, Bae-yong-gu turns to Sunga. In his typical arrogant manner, he orders her to the concrete room for a briefing. Witnessing the absurd level of deference their leader showers upon this newcomer, the other staff members start to wonder, could this recruit be a 3-star hunter? Cut to the office where, predictably, the team leader is utterly fawning over Siwa. Frantic coffee brewing ensues as he pulls out all the stops for maximum hospitality. Enter Kim Sunga, here to brief our protagonist. She's the Gangbuk team's data guru. Siwa finally speaks, requesting records of every hunter killed in the last 2 decades. He demands a summarized report. Sunga is stunned by his audacity. 20 years of data? That's a mountain of information. They'd need Hunter Association approval just to access. But the team leader, annoyed by her hesitation, orders her to comply. He assures the SU there's no cause for alarm. The data manager will handle everything swiftly and expertly. There's absolutely nothing to worry about. Seo Young questions if he's only considering human victims. He clarifies that he means cases officially deemed murders by the HMC. No change needed, too short for meaningful rephrase. He also needs a list of at-large hunter killers. From the SAU's perspective, killing an awakened individual is virtually impossible. Only an equally powerful awakened being could manage such a feat. To kill a top-tier hunter like Min Jun, the perpetrator must be a highly skilled professional. Even if caught or eliminated, a record should exist if they were awakened. Their awakened status would necessitate documentation somewhere. Locating them is paramount. Sunga located the information, but is unsure how to deliver it. so instructs her to simply send it to his phone. Suddenly, the team leader is pulled aside for a private conversation. The man reports their findings. The police have issued a desperate plea for help. All-out gang warfare has erupted, and some combatants possess extraordinary ability. The police are hesitant to intervene, because Cerberus is involved. This infuriates the team leader. Siwoo is clueless about Cerberus. Completely. Sunga clarifies Cerberus is no ordinary gang. They deal in arms and assassinations. They're even rumored to traffic hunters, making them far too dangerous for standard police intervention. Siwoo's interest is piqued, the hunter trafficking especially. If true, it could connect to a disciple's disappearance, a disciple whose body was never recovered. He orders Byung-gu to bring him along, irritated by the use of his old name. The team leader corrects him, it's Jong-gu. Battlefield now. The bloodless Reaper gang, utterly decimated by Cerberus. Kong-ho, Cerberus's second-in-command, savors the victory. Beside him, Jikin, third-in-command, jokes darkly about their effortless triumph as they bask in their glory. Celebration is shattered. A massive explosion erupts. The wall explodes inward, revealing our protagonist. He strolls casually into the chaos. Kong-ho's arrogance, his incessant boasting, convinces Siwoo he's killed hunters before. That inflated ego thrills Siwoo. He's eager to see what Kong-ho's got. Note, this website seems to be missing some panel. Their conversation suggests, we missed the Siwoo showdown. Now they're drowning in despair. Our guy's playing on a different level. Solo, yet unstoppable. He's got them scrambling for their lives. After countless failed attacks, Kong-ho unleashes his full power. He activates full body armor, a B-rank defensive skill, boosting resistance to all damage. Kong-ho charges, his lackeys follow. Lackeys mimic their leader's charge. Siwoo swiftly dismantles them all. Victory is his, along with their skills. Siwoo's motive becomes clear. Self-assessment. Testing his strength against today's awakened criminals. Deeming them hopeless, he decided to end things swiftly. The team leader arrived right then, reporting the entire upper floor clear. But he was stunned by the bodies scattered below. Siwoo, however, proudly announced one survivor. The prize among the trash. They needed someone for questioning. A panicked team leader began ranting about protocol. They were meant to take them alive. But since they attacked first, self-defense would be their story. His real panic stemmed from the target's ruthless reputation. These men had execution warrants. Siwoo handling them alone was insane. His mad dog reputation was well earned. Siwoo and the team leader confer. Meanwhile, a terrified individual cowers under furniture. He frantically calls a superior. The urgent report. Total annihilation. The Cerberus gang is no more. On the other end, Gert, a formidable rank hunter. He commands Hong Kong's Red Guild. Gert demands to see his brother immediately. Apologies and condolences are offered, but Gert has a singular focus. Where is my brother? Jikin's body awaits forensic analysis. Therefore, Gert's identification is needed. Formal procedures must be followed. The red-haired hunter approves of this development. He learned something crucial. His brother's killer had ties to the HM/CS organization. These claims remain unverified by association agent. Annoyance flares within Gert. He demands to know if he's free to go. The agents deny his request. He's confined to his designated location for now. Disobedience will result in the full force of international law. Deportation looms. Gert finds himself cornered, frustrated but understanding. He realizes his temporary freedom is due to his brother's. He assigns his assistant Ryu Yenpang a task. Ryu Yenpang will do his dirty work. A B-rank hunter, Ryu is a force to be reckoned with. Gert is no pushover either. Consumed by vengeance for his brother, Gert seethes. Meanwhile, Siwoo relaxes. He learns of Min Jun's murder from his brother, and a subsequent robbery at his own home. Interestingly, mana in this world. Its traceable signature reveals the hunter's identity and rank. This allows for swift suspect investigation. The association can easily identify those responsible. But this criminal is far too clever. Not this time. This culprit has expertly covered their track. Min Jun, a prominent archaeologist with invaluable research, left behind no trace of mana. Now, Siwoo entertains the idea of a simple robbery, not a premeditated attack. Sejun finds this theory laughable. Siwoo argues the stolen items were high value, increasing the likelihood of evidence. The report confirms their worth. There had to be something left behind. Leaving no trace wouldn't be easy. Su deduces. Complete mana erasure requires drastic measure. Incineration would be the only way. A disturbingly logical conclusion. This implies Min Jun's death and the robbery were distinct incidents. Someone capitalized on the chaos. Siwoo reveals he's encountered similar cases. He's determined to solve this, despite the complexity. His brother finds the whole thing absurd. He believes recovering Min Jun's belongings is a lost cause. The challenge now, who's brave enough to take the case? Siwoo's confidence wavers. Frustration boils over in a dark alley. He curses the rampant thievery. Yet, the leads remain elusive. Siwoo hits a wall. Now furious, he desperately needs to cool down. A stroke of luck intervenes. He overhears a crucial conversation. The topic, a shadowy organization. They're systematically targeting locations, eliminating entire groups operating outside the law. This organization wields immense power and influence. This concerns hunters globally. They're utterly indifferent, sending criminals straight to hell? No qualms. This organization's brutality goes beyond prison. Encountering them? Death is the real threat. It's your burial ground. However, skilled hunters avoid organizations like the HMCS. They prefer guilds with better compensation, offering a more lucrative package. But this troublemaker poses a threat. Therefore, they relocate their warehouse for safety. Sherlock, having heard enough, blows his cover. He directly questions their warehouse location. He terrifies them completely. Rabbit Face is utterly petrified. He recognizes Siwoo, the criminal cleaner. Panic sets in. The boss issues an urgent call to arms. Su remains defiant. He demands the warehouse location. This time, menace laces his voice. Desperate, the boss offers his underling as a sacrifice. A last-ditch effort for survival. Relief floods him as his men arrive. Confidence surges. He believes victory is within his grasp. Arrogance blinds the boss. He mistakes superior numbers for certain triumph. The HMC investigator is as good as finished. Or so he thinks. He anticipates an easy victory. But our hero welcomes the convenient lineup. A perfect opportunity to test his new skills. Target practice has commenced. The skill activates. Siwoo erupts in a blinding golden aura. A flash of lightning. The men fall electrified and defeated. He towers over the remaining lackey. Time to talk. Where's the warehouse? Terror grips the lackey as he witnesses the investigator's devastating power. Overwhelmed, he wonders, is Siwoo even human? Our protagonist responds with a mischievous grin. He proudly declares himself a lunatic. The scene concludes with all the assistants apprehended. Minjin's confidential research journal gives Siwoo the upper hand. A protective security spell guards the journal. This explains why it remains unbreakable to others. The lock demands the owner's unique mana signature. Siwoo seeks not the knowledge within, but the mana contained. His target, the mana infused within the book. He summons Byungu with a call. He requests a car and a cleanup crew for the captured criminal. With the situation handled, he moves on. He has another destination in mind. We discover a hidden neutral zone, a clandestine marketplace for trading extraordinary ability. It's called Black Skyfall, a skill-based market. A woman expertly plays her cards. Perhaps she dabbles in witchcraft or something similar. She senses Siwoo's approaching presence. Meet Mum Young, the formidable shaman. She's one of the market's 5 ruling chiefs. Siwoo surveys the area. He notes it's remarkably unchanged after a decade. Fry observes Siwoo's undeniable popularity. All eyes are on him. But Siwoo's not looking for a fight here. Trouble's the last thing he needs. Mum Young appears, eager to speak with him. She's been waiting to have a word. She remarks on his ageless appearance. She's curious about his recent endeavors. After all, he was absent for quite some time. Siwoo spares her the century-long saga. He gets straight to the point. He presents the journal for mana extraction. Mum Young appreciates his directness. She reminds him of the process. Siwoo's already familiar. He slices his palm, drawing blood. It's all about mana manipulation. Restoring mana to its original form? Nearly impossible. Think of it like deconstructing a curry. You can pick out the vegetables. But separating the spices is another story. Unblending the spices, water, and other ingredients is practically impossible. Returning them to their original state? Forget about it. It's an impossible feat, unless you possess the unique abilities of this enigmatic woman. She's known only as Unnamed. A mana hacker, she wields power that defies the laws of cause and effect. Her superpower is unique, unparalleled. Society views individuals like her with suspicion, fearing their potential for criminal activity. Regardless, she hacks the mana, reveling in her accomplishment. Even Fry finds her unnervingly strange. She refuses payment. Siwoo, in his haste, departs without a word of explanation. The villain labels him as an enigma. Freya, however, is utterly creeped out by her. Even Siwoo is puzzled by Freya's distress. It was a simple ritual after all. Just a blood contract, a minor exchange. Siwoo's next stop, the History Research Institute. The scene of Minjun's murder. Inside, he moves freely. It's Empire Guild territory. A surprise awaits Siwoo. Lingering phantoms remain. Though still mourning Minjun's death, Siwoo's curiosity peaks. He wants to relive the crime. He casts Mana Remembrance, experiencing the Mana wielder's emotion. A ghostly reenactment unfolds before him. The vision is blurred. The skill only reveals feelings, not memories. Emotions, not specific events. Siwoo's intellect is sharp. He knows Minjun was a formidable hunter. His killer must have been exceptionally proficient. Only immense skill could have surpassed him. Siwa witnesses the final moments. He realizes the culprit, one of the VIPs. Minjun's connections extended beyond the research facility. He was involved with another organization entirely. Fry worries about him. Even in the demon realm, his focus remained on his disciples and siblings. A century later, his priorities haven't changed. After a century, his first thought upon arriving on Earth was their well-being. He immediately sought them out. Now he's witnessed a disciple fade into oblivion. Fry knows the profound impact of this loss. Siwoo avoids the topic, but his companion senses his inner turmoil. His emotions are spiraling uncontrollably. Siwoo's face betrays no emotion. He hides his pain well. Siwoo insists he's fine, and a century's worth of stress deserves a breaking point. A plot twist. Ryu appears out of nowhere, fed up with tailing Oscar all day. Ryu demands Oscar accompany him. Siwoo, unfazed, points out Ryu's 6 hidden goons. Ryu, impressed, offers Siwoo 2 choices. Cooperate willingly, and come quietly, or choose the hard way. Get sliced and diced, then dragged to their boss. Guess what Siwoo does? He surrenders. Hands in the air. No resistance. Ryu orders him tied up. Siwoo's trap is sprung. He baits a goon, then cuts him down. True colors revealed. Now it's on. The others launch a coordinated attack, channeling their inner jujitsu sorcerer. But Gert arrives ready to take charge. He declares himself judge, jury, and executioner of his chosen target. Siwoo, unmoved, invites him to try his luck. Gert begins with a pointed question. He demands confirmation. Was Siwoo the one who ended Jaken of the Cerberus gang, his brother? To which Siwoo nonchalantly replies that names are meaningless to him. He didn't bother asking, he just disposed of some garbage. His callous words ignite Gert's fury. Gert explodes, intent on tearing Siwoo apart. He lunges, fueled by rage. The redhead's arrogance blinds him, but Siwoo remains utterly calm. He casts instant healing, stunning the A-rank hunter. Gert, taken aback, unleashes a ferocious assault. Even Gert's own crew is shocked as Siwoo withstands the A-ranker's blow. He holds his ground against a force of nature. Siwoo isolates the fight, keeping the remaining goons at bay. A flash of lightning, a signature skill, and the mob is instantly vaporized. He craves a true challenge, a worthy opponent. Powerful healer, a combat prodigy, unbelievable. He's a master of both healing and fighting. Gert's movements, perfectly dissected and countered. An A-rank hunter with unparalleled precision. This level of skill is unheard of, a truth. He's unlike any opponent faced before. Gert's only hope? Unleash everything he's got. Delusional confidence at its finest. A crime demands justice, regardless of the perpetrator. No one is above the law. Consequences are inevitable. Awakened criminals meet their hunter. Siwoo's duty is clear. Yet, they see themselves as victims, blinded by arrogance, ignoring the devastation they've caused. Gert rejects Siwoo's reasoning. It suggests he can eliminate any criminal with impunity, the only prerequisite committing a crime. He fiercely defends his fallen brother, unable to grasp their shared existence. Jiken resorted to crime to protect a vulnerable Gert. He ensured Gert's safety in his defenseless state. Survival for both became his driving force. Gert seeks retribution for a life carelessly taken, a life extinguished without understanding its worth. He unleashes Wolfang, perhaps his most potent weapon. The Crimson Mana tells Siwoo everything he needs to know. This attack is unavoidable. He needs Frey's power, despite his companion's exhaustion. Frey, already drained from the day's demand. Siwoo vows to handle the rest alone. The skill deployed, he casts Neutralization. Neutralization follows the skill's activation, a secret class spell. It deciphers the opponent's spell level. He not only deflects the attack, but erases the spell with a magic circle. Gert is stunned. Even Ryu can't comprehend the healer's power. This seemingly ordinary person just neutralized an A-rank hunter's skill. It's beyond belief. They're being dominated by a single individual. Su attacks. He ridicules Gert's compassion, citing others who suffered but didn't resort to crime. Those who endured hardship yet remained righteous. He unleashes a brutal attack on the guild master. The impact sends him flying. The blow leaves a visible bruise. Despite the force, Gert forbids his men from interfering. He assesses the situation. He knows victory is impossible against such power. Constantly neutralizing spells drains his mana. Mana depletion is inevitable. His plan, force a grueling battle of attrition. Same skill, different tactic. Gert focuses his power, preparing a strike. He launches an attack, aiming to take him down. Siwoo effortlessly evades the blow. A flawless dodge without expending magic. Siwoo counters with a swift knee to the face, followed by a relentless flurry of punches. He mocks Gert's over-reliance on a tiring skill. His body can't handle the strain. Enraged, Gert pushes Siwoo back. He commands his men to restrain Siwoo. Mid-air, Siwoo is vulnerable. Ryu's annoyed by his boss's hypocrisy. First, no interference. Now, he needs help. So much for staying out of it. Chains bind Siwoo. Gert approaches for a final blow. A final blow to extinguish life itself. This time, it's final. He's ensuring no recovery this time. But this opponent? Unfazed. Utterly indifferent to the threat. Defiant in the face of overwhelming odds. Siwoo commends Gert and Jaken's criminal endeavor. Then unleashes the lifesteal spell. Draining the target's very essence. A horrifying fate awaits his foe. Their body begins to gruesomely self-consume. Even, Ryu recoils in horror at his zombified leader. Surprisingly, this was his first awakened skill. Potent ability, leaving no doubt about his power. He's no ordinary healer, that much is clear. This spell commands the very force of life, wielding the power of life spirit sorcery. With his opponent down, he turns his attention to Ryu, who's panicking like a fish out of water. Ignoring the pleas, Oscar delivers a swift karate chop. He then faces the camera. Each investigator carries one. Siwoo hopes the recording is intact. He needs clear evidence of self-defense. Byung-gu and the others witnessed everything. Their reactions? Priceless. Oscar hit live instead of record. A rookie mistake. 6,000 viewers tuned into the brawl. A PR nightmare unfolds. The organization's reputation is at stake. The live feature? 2 years old. Intended for recruitment. A failed experiment. The footage reveals a shocking truth. Immense power has joined their ranks. But why? More critically, this individual is a murderer. A guild master brutally slain. The investigators' hands are clean, legally, but it raises serious questions. Enter Choi Dae-soo, Korea's top power broker. He joins the fray. Days later, at the Empire Guild cafeteria, Siwoo feasts, unbothered. The public video release? Completely ignored. Even Frey's mealtime peace is shattered. He's irritated. He's smitten with the food. He plans on frequent returns. It's that delicious. Meanwhile, Gert's defeat goes viral. The bodycam footage fuels the online frenzy. Thanks to the bodycam perspective, Siwoo's face is lost in the chaos. If President Dae-soo finds out, there will be hell to pay. Adding to the tension, the president has already desperately tried to bury this. 10 years vanished without a trace. He's a walking red flag. Laying low is the only option. Survival depends on staying hidden. But Siwoo, ever the loyal brother, throws caution to the wind. He deflects the tension with a casual joke. Familiar faces from the tower surround Siwoo. Shinji Su, the newest A-rank guild recruit. Thanks to Siwoo's influence, the guild master's curiosity is piqued. Is there a hunter-gathering? A seminar, perhaps? His suspicions are confirmed. Enter Chuamin and Yamato, representing different guilds, and Taiji of the Imperial Guild. He's heard the tales of Siwoo. Praise for Siwoo's contributions flows freely. Siwoo politely reciprocates, but Hammond's eyes narrow with suspicion. He knows Siwoo's secret, Gert's downfall, his supposed lifelong rival. It sounds utterly absurd. Hammond dismisses it as pure fabrication. The guild master's expression hardens. He sharply reprimands Hammond for disrespecting a key figure. Within the guild's very headquarters, Hammond blames the Empire Guild's rigid rule, offering no apology. The disagreement escalates. The other hunters discreetly retreat. Hammond stands his ground, defiant. He's unfazed by the threat of repercussions. He boasts of his achievements, but one detail catches Siwoo's attention, Xiaolong's disciple. This fact resonates deeply with Siwoo. Hammond's tirade continues, until Siwoo abruptly silences him. He suggests Hammond seek him out personally. If he's so eager, then he adds insult to injury, mocking Xiaolong's failure to teach proper fighting skill. Hammond takes the insult personally, deeply offended. He's itching for a fight, barely restraining himself. If they weren't on neutral ground, things would get ugly. Frustrated, he kicks a chair aside. He issues a dark warning to Siwoo, telling him to watch his back. He's trying to intimidate Siwoo, acting like a playground bully. His threats are childish and pathetic. The guild master decides to smooth things over. He assures his brother he'll deal with the troublemaker. But Siwoo dismisses the incident. He sees the offender as insignificant, a mere student of his student. The arrogance doesn't faze him. Later, we see branch director Jianho in a conversation with guild master Sun Gil of the White Lion. Sun Gil of the White Lion Guild. He wants to apologize for more than just the failed collaboration. He's apologizing for one of his members attacking an HMC member, lashing out against the Hunter's Moon crew. However, the branch director flatly refuses the apology. He asserts a guild leader shouldn't have to apologize. A leader like him above such trivialities. The branch director sees right through him. He's here to scout, not apologize. But Jianho is unwavering. No guild will claim this boy. The guild master is exposed. He's puzzled by SAU's involvement. SU offering prison support? Unheard of. This isn't their usual mission. Larger guilds handle these requests, not organizations like SU. Not this small organization. Yet, the director is hopeful. He anticipates a significant shift. Progress is coming. Sungil agrees, Hunter Chu's apology would suffice. Hammond, the instigator, should apologize to Saiwu personally. The director concurs. It's a personal affair. They need to resolve it themselves. The meeting concludes. Exiting the building, Sungul is lost in thought. He refuses to abandon such exceptional talent. He instructs his secretary to summon Hammond for a meeting, and to ensure Hammond behaves himself. The secretary inquires about the meeting place. Sungul declares, Incheon. News spreads quickly. The HMC organization has volunteered their services, but their arrival is conspicuously delayed. Their tardiness is baffling to the chief. He's growing weary of the criminal underworld's petty squabble. The latest report centers on Sherry Voke, a dangerous individual, underestimated upon his initial arrest. Voke subsequently descended into madness. He became unhinged, losing all reason. Despite mana suppression, he effortlessly overpowered 5 men. He's notorious, a criminal anomaly. Countless agencies have endured hellish pursuits to capture him. That very man. Sherry Voke, confined to his cell, receives new order. He discovers the organization's plan is already in motion. Escape requires inciting chaos within the prison wall. To break free, he must instigate a riot. Meanwhile, our protagonist arrives at Inghun Awakened Prison, ready to execute his mission. Elsewhere, Hammond's losing it. He's throwing a full-blown tantrum. The prison's chaotic state has him enraged. He's beyond irritated. His guild master's obsession with recruitment infuriates him. This mission, a complete waste of his time. Spotting a car, Hammond races to catch up. He demands overtime for this ridiculous assignment. The inconvenience deserves compensation. Inside the transport, Siwoo sits coolly beside their target. Sherry tests him, teasing and provocative. Is this kid really the new warden? Siwoo flatly denies it. Sherry ridicules his special guild status. He's brimming with overconfidence. The comedic gold? Siwoo's deadpan response. I have no clue who you are. Talk about a Thanos-level ego bruise. Sherry's unimpressed, bordering on insult. This guy's clueless about the gravity of the situation. He doesn't even know why he's being transported. Saiyu adds insult to injury. Is your constant yapping the reason? Did they finally decide to shut you up? The criminal, reaching his breaking point, launches into his epic backstory. He's practically radiating Sigma male energy, boasting about beating up 5 criminals. How intimidating. Trying to impress his seatmate? Sherry's stunned. The guild sent a nobody after a notoriously dangerous, unpredictable awakened criminal. Powerful one at that. Meanwhile, our guy's chilling, sipping his coffee. Sherry delivers the news. You're screwed. No sugarcoating it. Boom. The vehicle explodes, sending them flying. Sherry's furious. The old man knew that trick wouldn't kill him. He mocks the leashed man. Meanwhile, they wonder if he handled the nearby officer. Sherry boasts, I destroyed his temple, meaning Sai was likely dead. Savoring his final sip of coffee. Sherry's impatient with the stubborn cuffs. Their manner reinforced. They finally free him. The kid thinks he's overdramatic. Their conversation abruptly ends. A voice cuts through the silence. Freeze. It's Hammond. He's shocked by their audacious move. Seeing Saiwa fall to such criminals, Hammond's convictions deepen. He was right. He's not special. His master is wrong. He won't let them escape. He challenges their motives. Suddenly recognition flashes in the girl's eyes. He's A-rank Hunter Hammond. The White Lion Guild's Hammond. Surprise! They've been tailed. The old man confirms they're alone. Hammond's ready for a solo showdown. He readies himself, demanding Sherry's identity. The crazed criminal scoffs introductions are pointless. He'll obliterate the hunter regardless. Beowulf skill unleashed. A monstrous transformation begins. Hammond stunned. He faces a heteromorphic awakening. Sherry unleashes pure fury. Diamond Rampage activated. Mana surges, encasing him in power. He's reached a new level of terrifying. Yet, the beast is forced to defend. Hammond's blistering strikes land relentlessly. But the hunter's worried. His attacks lack a finishing blow. A blow strong enough to cripple. The beast shrugs off the punches. A mere massage, nothing more. The old man urges them, finish the kid, reinforcements are coming. They can't risk waiting. The girl's hands blaze with mana, a powerful spell is cast. Behold, the 10-headed viper. Hammond's troubles just multiplied. He mocks the serpent, dodging its strikes. But his taunts backfire as the vipers ensnare him. Trapped, Hammond uses a tracking skill. The beast seizes the opportunity. A brutal blow sends Hammond crashing down. Sherry scorns the hunter's arrogance. Privileged, raised by the strong, he thought he was special. Sherry sees Hammond as barely a street fight. Hammond calls out their trash talk. As they gang up on him 3 against 1, another kick sends him sprawling. Sherry sneers, they're simply smarter than Hammond. The elder advises against further delay. He goads the beast to launch his final strike. Looking down at Hammond, he asks if he has any last words. Hammond knows he's utterly defeated. He's facing his end. That is, until a man's arrival shatters the dire situation. He's irked by Hammond's sudden surrender. SU echoes the disappointment in his disciple's action. SU wrestles with his body cam. Instead of the impending 3-on-1 fight, the beast is stunned that SIU lives. He was certain he crushed his skull. Before leaving the vehicle, the elder confirms SIU should be dead. This is simply baffling. Hammond roars, warning SU to wait for backup. But SIU's furious at being caught in this chaotic mess. Not only a disrupted haven, but also a ruined coffin. His retribution, branding them criminals deserving of obliteration. Enter Min Siwoo, the mad dog, the demon lord slayer. He declares their game over, these 3 fools. His target, Shu Heyman of the White Lion Guild, disciple of Xiaolong. Azura, he proclaims, is more than a mere attack. As Siwoo powers up, something else entirely. Thestia's Grey Wolf, a heteromorphic hunter, lunges. But before impact, Azura pierces him. Chuhan, stunned, recognizes his master's technique. It's the same skill. Impossible. Siwoo, discarding the wolf, strikes again, instantly. A mocking taunt follows. Bleed them dry for tender meat. The old fool counters with Thunder Wall Strike. Their attack is effortlessly dodged, leaving them stunned. Our hero recognizes the old man's double casting prowess. He suspects a cursed tool aids the old man. At least one life lesson learned, he muses. His predator stirs. The creature he calls a parasite. Intrigued by the unfamiliar skill, it wonders if it's edible. So explains the skill's mechanics. It operates like a costly, single-use scroll. Mana channeling activates its power. Chuha, consumed by curiosity, demands our hero's identity. How does he know his master's technique? Before another word is spoken, dark incantations fill the air. A gravity spell takes him by surprise. He's now a bargaining chip. Siwoo instantly sees through the old man's tact. He scoffs, ridiculing the pathetic threat. The old man doubles down on his demands. Hammond's life depends on Siwoo walking away, he insists. Just turn around and leave. Our hero was unwillingly dragged into this mess, he adds. Everything will go smoothly if he just leaves quiet. No trouble, no problems. Just walk away. Minsuwa nonchalantly cleans his ear with a finger. The old man's plea is casually dismissed. He wouldn't be here if he hadn't chosen this dirty job. This mission was his choice. He continues, stating that a simple gravity spell shouldn't be a problem for Heyman. Even if it looks tough right now, Heyman should handle it. The old man challenges our hero. He points out the obvious contradiction. Are he and Hammond truly allies? Shu answers directly. The only alliance here is between them two. He reveals what he knows. The old man's a hunter-killer, he exposes, working for a powerful, shadowy organization. The revelation blindsides the old man. Siwoo's knowledge leaves him utterly stunned. Unfazed, Siwoo continues, revealing even more. He demands answers. Who are you working for? The old man tries another threat. Even knowing they're hunter-killers, Siwoo remains defiant. Siwoo's presence is a challenge. A deathly stare pierces the old man. Siwoo's question hangs in the air. Who? Siwoo closes in, the tension mounting. Panicked, the old man draws a cursed tool. A shockwave erupts. The attack is effortlessly neutralized, shocking the old man. Confusion washes over him. Did Siwoo use lightning to counter the tool? He leaps back without hesitation, desperate to create distance. Predator's appetite is further whetted. Siwoo's hand ignites with a glow. 40% of his form is restored. His power surging, he mocks the elder. He tells him time is precious, especially at his age. Every remaining day counts, there's no room for waste. The old man defiantly refuses. He admits Shu has unmasked him. A hunter-killer, he declares, but his organization will remain shrouded. Their secrecy, he states, is absolute. An oath of silence binds them all. Betrayal means instant death. Revealing their secrets guarantees his demise. He's trapped. Death is inevitable. Hammond rises, shaking off the gravity's grip. He recovers from the spell's effects. The werewolf, coughing up black blood, comes to. Our hero swiftly approaches the old man. He asks a chilling question, do you fear death? As he speaks, a spell begins to form. 3 magic circles materialize around him. Panic rising, the old man turns to the gray wolf. He desperately urges him to stop Shu. The werewolf snarls, silencing the old man. Quiet, he commands. Engulfed in a violet aura, he lunges towards our hero. This time, he vows to rip him to shreds. But he's barely moved when Hammond intercepts. Finally, Hammond declares, a fair fight. A heated exchange erupts. Their argument is cut brutally short. Our hero unleashes his devastating thousand wind spell. Both the werewolf and the old man are sent flying. Siwoo instantly pounces on the old man. He seizes him by the throat, his grip unbreakable. Do you know what death feels like? Siwoo demands. His grip tightens. Answer me. Siwoo roars. How many times must I show you the abyss? He waits for a response. Hammond observes, incredulous. Hammond can't believe what he's seeing. Why does our hero keep pushing these fools to death's door, only to mend their wounds afterward? He can't help but think, in their shoes, death would be preferable. He's baffled by the sheer potency of such healing magic. Siwoo presses the question again. This time, the wolf practically begs for an answer, yielding to the relentless pressure. The old man spills the secret they serve Bestia. Studying our hero, recognition dawns. Shu, one of the 3 legendary figures, vanished long ago. The infamous mad dog. Min-Shu settles down casually and remarks that since they've finally decided to talk, he needs more information, producing an image of the serpent-eyed, fang-toothed killer. He demands the murderer's name. Cut to the shadows of Bestia, a deadly assassination organization. A glimpse into their world. Elite hunters, experts in their grim trade, answerable only to their enigmatic leader, Crow. Bestia's power grew relentlessly, their influence spreading like a dark stain. The old man, a veteran hunter from the early days, received their summons, an offer he couldn't refuse, accepted without a second thought. For Bestia recruits, silence was golden, secrecy paramount. Even in his twilight years, the old man swore the oath of silence. His life, his death, now belonged to Bestia, completely in their control. Back to the present. The old man contemplates his 15 years with Bestia. He'd always believed his loyalty unshakable, betrayal unthinkable. Until now, silence was his vow, death the alternative. His oath was unbreakable, but repeated brushes with death chipped away at his resolve. His silence finally crumbled. Words broke free, shattering the oath. The old man revealed a shocking truth. The target was one of their own, codename Black Mamba. The name struck our hero as unsettling, but a more pressing question demanded an answer. He confronted them both. Were you involved in the assassination of Yoon Min-Ju? Silence met his question. A palpable tension filled the air. A chilling unease descended. A feeling like being flayed alive washed over them. Baldy broke the silence. We know nothing, he insisted. We're in the dark. Bestia operates in silos, he explained. Collaboration is rare. Before the SIU could dig deeper, he spilled more, unprompted. Members usually operate in the dark about each other's skills and whereabouts. However, their biannual gathering changed things. They received a direct order, extract the wolf from prison. Their mission, spring the wolf from jail. He continued, revealing, the meeting's just a week away. Their orders, deliver the wolf to the meeting. Knowing their game was up, the old man bowed before Siwoo. He promised full disclosure, everything he knew, including how to breach the meeting itself. Desperate, he begged to serve under our hero. Chuhaman erupted. Preposterous. He turned to Siwoo. Brother, he began. You wouldn't fall for this, would you? Siwoo rested his chin in his hand. Since when, he asked calmly, did Hammond become my brother? Hammond's logic, Siwoo's Azura master, makes him a senior at minimum, perhaps even a master's master, forgetting the fools entirely. He begs Siwoo to take him as a student. Siwoo abruptly silences him. Quiet, he commands. He pauses, assessing the scene. His goal, information on the snake-eyed man. Releasing them means their own organization will likely eliminate them, Black Mamba included. Worse, Bestia will learn of his interference, complicating matters significantly. Weighing the risks, he makes them both his subordinates. Hammond is stunned. The old man is ecstatic. Gratitude pours forth, but before praise can flow, a condition is imposed. SU sets his terms. Loyalty demands a price. The ultimate pledge. The mana oath. The demand hits hard. The wolf voices his discontent. But before another word is spoken, the old man interjects. Yield, he commands, silencing the defiance. Or face death a dozen times over. Fear takes hold. Reluctantly, they summon their inner mana, obeying their hero's decree. Names are revealed. The elder, Red Ghost. The wolf, Sherry Voke. The contract sealed, the hero makes a vow. Loyalty brings protection, he assures them. Your lives will be spared. Siwoo embraces the criminals. Hammond erupts in childish fury. Why them, not me, he wails. I've been excluded. He pouts, issuing a threat, make me your disciple, or I'll report everything to the association. Siwoo's gaze turns icy. Just a jest, he says calmly. I was merely teasing. The oath scroll vanishes. Hammond's wish is granted. He takes him under his wing. A sigh of relief escapes his lips. More hands make lighter work, he muses. This crew should suffice for the spectacle he envisioned, but perhaps just one more is needed. Someone to tidy up the inevitable mess. Back at Hunter Police Station. A portly officer berates the HMCS team leader, Jong-gu. Sherry Voke escaped. Explain yourself, he demands. That man is dangerous, he emphasizes. All this HMCS hype, he scoffs. Seems like a fairy tale. Siwoo, sprawled on a sofa, replies nonchalantly, Sherry was too quick. Jong-gu, disgusted, glares daggers. At least try to sound convincing. He snaps. Take this seriously. The officer's tirade continues. Where's the new transport officer? And deeming the whole operation a disaster. Jungkook, finally breaking his silence, intervenes. He clarifies the protocol, explaining that standard prisoner transports require 4 to 5 officers. High-risk inmates necessitate up to 10. Accepting responsibility, Jungkook admits he specifically requested only 1 officer for the transport. Infuriated, the portly warden leaps to his feet. He argues that none of it matters, because the prisoner escaped. Jungkook dismisses this with a wave, counter that the rookie officer nearly prevented the escape. He reveals a shocking discovery. Sherry Voke had inside help. He divulges their findings. High-ranking officers were bribed to aid Voke. The skeptical warden scoffs, denouncing the accusation as a blatant lie. Unfazed, Jungkook calmly, he understands the warden's doubts, but this demands immediate action. Representing HMCS, he insists on an urgent investigation. Jong-gu promises a thorough inquiry into Incheon prison. The escape demands their full attention, and the escaped convict, he needs the warden's help. The scene changes. Jong-gu tells Siwoo the investigation has begun. Everything's handled, all is requested. Hunter Chuhan is there, and Siwoo's new disciples, the 2 comical sidekicks. Siwoo unveils his plan. It's time to infiltrate Bestja's meeting. The operation begins now. 8 of Bestja's top assassins will be present. Elite awakened killers. Hammond and Jong-gu need to listen carefully. The defectors will fill in the rest. Jong-gu is uneasy. He questions their infiltration strategy, given their limited number. He pointedly asks about their objective. What's the endgame of this perilous mission? Shu smirks. The goal, he says, is rather obvious. Total annihilation. Every last one of them. At the next Bestja gathering, their leader mocks the vanished duo. Arguments erupt. They knew the old man and Sherry Voke were weak. Betrayal? Unforeseen. Hedgehog, the goth, rages about Volk's broken date promise. She'll kill him. Scar Mouth silences the room. Only the boss metes out punishment for traitors. The boss chuckles, amused by the rapid disappearances. He arrives. Silence falls. He announces a deathmatch. The victor earns the right to execute the traitor. A heavy silence descends. Black Mamba calls out the boss's humorless joke. Eliminating the traitors is child's play, he asserts. The true problem, their location's been compromised. One member scoffs at the notion of an attack, but blaring alarms cut the laughter short. Stunned silence except for the leader, who seems to relish the mayhem. Turns out, a lone intruder is breaching all 5 entrances. 5 members mobilize to intercept. One taunts Hedgehog and Black Mamba, questioning their loyalty to the boss. Black Mamba derides the intruders as mere trash. Hedgehog, oblivious, remains engrossed in her comic. Their casual banter continues, unaware that Jungkook is stealthily navigating the vents. Each movement betrays his apprehension. Frustration simmers within him. He silently curses, drawing the short straw, the most perilous task. Rewind 30 minutes. The squad assembles outside the target location. The old man lays down the law. Our hero listens intently. The 5 entry points are a shifting labyrinth, a constantly changing puzzle of access. A race to breach the fortress, only one can be first. But ultimately, all roads lead to the target. Our heroes command, divide and conquer, each take an entrance. Trap the Bestja, cut off every escape. Radios out, he orders Jong-gu, no room for hesitation. A crucial warning, if the enemy pushes back, especially Black Mamba, stall and signal for back. Jong-gu hits a dead end. His path is blocked. His gaze snaps upward. Event offers a solution. Instinct takes over. He plunges into the darkness. Bypassing security measures, he slips through the organization's defenses. Suddenly, he's in the killer's den. 5 down, the clock is ticking. No time for reinforcements, he's on his own. He's got to thin the herd. Marbles appear in his hand, tools of a desperate fight. And lets one slip. The leader sneers, turning to Hedgehog with a mocking grin. He jests that she lost it at their slot machine. As she retrieves it, the goth girl quips, "Jackpot?" She's right. The marble detonates. Shockwaves rip through the room. The leader, unmoved, simply laughs at her fate. Black Mamba leaps up. He instantly clocks the incoming grenade. With a flick of the wrist, he redirects it towards the return to sender. No more hiding. Jungkook bursts from concealment. A dramatic entrance, drenched in sweat. He curses, only able to eliminate one. Still stunned by Black Mamba's casual grenade deflection. Pure power, no fancy moves. Snake Guy facepalms. He's had it with the traitors who betrayed them to Big M. Jungkook's confirmation sets things in motion. He shakes his head, a hint of pity in his eyes. He almost feels bad for those who underestimated Bestia so badly. No time for sentiment. He acts swiftly. Jungkook unleashes a blinding flash of light. His opponent is momentarily stunned. Hidden daggers fly from the blinding glare. Across the room, the leader sips tea unfazed. She watches the fight as if it's child's play. Black Mamba laughs, already knowing Jungkook's tactic. He's seen this all before, but the Snake Man's self-mending body shocks Jungkook. His flesh knits back together seamlessly. Raw mana fuels his incredible regeneration. Playtime's over. The Snake Man attacks. One brutal strike sends Jungkook crashing into the wall. Mamba's annoyed. He hit a vital point too quickly. He asks the boss for permission to make a mess. Jungkook reacts quickly, grabbing his radio to report it. A boot to the chest cuts him off. Crushing Jungkook's chest, Snake Guy demands, "Is your backup the HMCS traitors? Or Wolf Boy?" Before Jungkook can answer, the answer arrives explosively. The trio bursts into the meeting hall, catching everyone completely off guard. The Real battle begins. Without a backward glance, Mamba effortlessly evades the trio's assault. He vanishes, leaving only a crater. Snake Guy eyes the newcomers. "How disappointing," he mutters, imagining the boss's fury. Her chosen ones, so weak, but something feels off. The trio appears virtually unscathed. Their movements, too fluid for those who supposedly faced Tiger and Grizzly. Their sluggish attacks are easily dodged. Suspicion gnaws at him. Hammond confronts Mamba head-on, but before connecting, Mamba's lethal grip ensnares him. He's flung aside. With a sinister grin, Mamba questions the White Lion Hunter's connection to the HMC. Observing the trio's struggle, Snake Man's suspicions intensify. A hastily assembled team like this couldn't have possibly wounded Bestia so easily. His eyes narrow, questioning the true mastermind. Hammond explodes, ordering Jungkook to his feet. They arrived the very instant they could. Saiwa's sudden appearance mid-battle redirected them to the hall. Left with no alternative, the trio stalls. Precious time is bought for their hero's arrival. Folk grimaces. Capturing a monster like Black Mamba alive seems impossible. The old man observes the hall's strategic layout. Mamba's speed is unmatched, but teleportation isn't in his arsenal. Unease intensifies as he watches their leader. A silent observer watches the chaos unfold. The true threat, Crow. Once the leader acts, all bets are off. With that looming danger, anything is possible. The Elder's command, capture Mamba. His focus, the leader. He'll watch the leader, they seize Mamba. Snake Guy's patience wears thin. He evades Hammond and Wolf Boy's relentless assault. Ignored, his frustration ignites. Baldy's voice thunders through the hall. None escape until the hero arrives, he declares. Crimson mana chains erupt from the floor. Hammond and even Crow, Bestia's leader, are ensnared. The boss laughs, mocking the Elder's futile attempt. The Elder remains steadfast. His binding spell, Absolute. A menacing aura emanates from Crow. He wonders, how powerful is their mastermind to betray him so brazenly? Hedgehog, he calls into the shadows. Her spiked hair leads the attack. She dives straight for the Elder. Falk and Jungkook rush to his defense. Her survival shocks them. Impatient with the stall, Mamba breaks the binding and unleashes his power. Cleanup will be extensive, he warns. Mamba's scales bleach white. He transforms into a white-scaled lizard man. A swift death, he promises. Jungkook and Hammond know their attacks are futile. Their only option, run? Jungkook analyzes Mamba's new form. It resembles Wolf Boy's, but the mana is diamond dense, trapped in the rigged hall. Only he can avert disaster. Aiding Voke and the old man is impossible. He resorts to a desperate measure. A dagger flies into Mamba's arm. Before the lizard man can unleash it, a corrosive green engulfs it. Jungkook's dagger storm is interrupted by a forceful blast. Hammond shouts a warning about an incoming bolt. Mamba urges him, eyes forward. Mid-battle, the monster teleports behind Jungkook. He declares the hunters have fatally underestimated the situation. In a brutal chokehold, the lizard man emphasizes that stats are meaningless in a dirty fight. Challenging them on their turf was a grave mistake. Meanwhile, the hedgehog unleashes fury on the deceitful vote. The hall is rigged with self-destruct and enhancement mechanism, designed for bestia members. It's called the Snake's Den for a reason. Entry is a one-way trip. Mamba tells Jungkook his efforts are futile. He nearly knocks Jungkook out, then senses a chilling presence. Crow leaps back as our hero blurs past. Jonggu slams the lizard into the wall. The Demon Lord Slayer smiles a demonic grin. Minjin's killer is finally found. Meanwhile, Hedgehog swiftly defeats the wolf god. Her next target, Saiwoo. Intrigued, she seeks to unveil his true identity. But before she can act, a magic circle abruptly activates. She's struck down instantly. Witnessing the sudden shift, Crow, the group's leader, is captivated by a single question. How did Saiwoo commandeer every magic circle in the area? He reprogrammed them all without a trace. Only Saiwoo knows the truth. Predator Fry seizes the moment to brag. He boasts that only his power could achieve such a feat. Crow watches, amused. She notes how easily Saiwoo decimated a billion-dollar facility. He reduced it to rubble. Meanwhile, recovering swiftly, Black Mamba unleashes a spell. Siwoo leaps back, narrowly avoiding it. He assesses the situation. The pieces click into place for Black Mamba. He wonders if Siwoo eliminated the old man and the wolf, was this all his doing, and orchestrated the entire operation. Fury over his subordinate's death still consumes Siwoo. He accuses Black Mamba. He points to Black Mamba as the true killer. Observing from afar, Crow watches the confrontation unfold. What could Mamba have done to ignite such rage, he wondered. Unmoved, Black Mamba states he simply followed orders. He's just a messenger. He insists he's innocent. Pressing further, he questions, seeking confirmation. Is this revenge, Siwoo? Perplexed, he asks how Siwoo discovered his true identity. He's a ghost, leaving no trail. But Siwoo conjures a crackling sphere of lightning. Revenge is in the air. But first, a crucial piece of the puzzle remains hidden. Cornered and surrounded, Crow raises her hands in question. She demands answers from her former comrades. What transformed them into Siwoo's puppets? How did this happen so fast? As the tension builds, Siwoo's electric sphere completes its charge. He's inverted the buff, turning magic against them. Enhancements become ensnaring traps. Trapped and struggling, Black Mamba analyzes Siwoo's power. Tracker? Close-range fighter? What is he? Nothing seems to fit. The mystery deepens. But there's no time to ponder. As Siwoo unleashes another attack, another brutal slam against the wall. Forced back into his primal hunter form. Blood trickles from his mouth. Black Mamba, despite his encyclopedic knowledge of high-ranking hunters, swears he's never encountered Siwoo. His usual confidence in recognizing powerful hunters shatters. Siwoo is a complete unknown. His opponent's identity remains a baffling mystery. Without hesitation, another magic circle form. He demands answers. What does Siwoo want? Before the incantation completes, Siwoo appears above, a blur of motion, driven into the ground by a merciless foot. The message is clear. Siwoo dictates the questions here. He presses down harder, asserting his dominance, refusing to let Black Mamba speak. Complete control. No chance for recovery. Slam down again. A chilling warning. One wrong move means death. No room for disobedience. Black Mamba, utterly dominated. Defeated, he begs Siwoo for mercy. His resistance crumbles. Black Mamba's willingness to talk is a breakthrough. Siwoo seizes the opportunity. He demands Young Min Jun's killer be named. Sweat beads on Black Mamba's brow. His mind races. How does Siwoo know about the assassination? Is Siwoo connected to the victim? He resorts to deception. He feigns compliance, waiting for his chance. He unleashes a stream of venom. A surprise attack. He believes Siwoo is down. A true assassin never reveals his client, he boasts. His confidence evaporates as Siwoo instantly recovered. Siwoo heals effortlessly. Panic sets in. Is Siwoo a healer? Desperate, he cries out for Crow. She arrived only to find herself trapped, surrounded by Siwoo's disciple. He was completely cornered, with no escape route. Trapped and with no alternatives, Black Mamba finally yielded. He started to reveal the client, Pandey. But before he could finish, Crow swiftly silenced him. Observing the unfolding events, she wondered if the name was Pandemonium. Upon hearing this, Crow revealed she recognized Chu's true identity. He was the legendary first-generation hunter, Mad Dog, the one who vanished without a trace a decade ago. Siwoo turned his attention to Crow. He demanded to know if she was connected to Pandemonium. She vehemently denied any involvement. She stated that her organization was solely an assassin's guild. They didn't handle personal requests. Siwoo glared menacingly at Crow. The message was clear: tell the truth and only the truth. Her survival depended on it. Crow stood firm. I have no reason to lie, she insisted. Siwoo already knows about me. With a snap of her fingers, she signaled Hedgehog to rise and join the escape. Instantly, they vanished skyward, poised for flight. Will you pursue us, Siwoo? Crow asked. He dismissed the notion. I have what I came for. There was no need to chase. A portal shimmered into existence. Farewell, Siwoo, Crow said. Perhaps our paths will cross again. Then she was gone. Jong-gu was furious. Why did you let them escape? He demanded of Siwoo. Siwoo calmly explained. Pursuing them would have triggered the self-destruct sequence. An inescapable predicament. Jong-gu is tasked with the cleanup. Their day's work deemed sufficient. Scene shift. Siwoo delves into Pandemonium's secrets. His thoughts rewind 2 decades. The first gate's emergence, unleashing chaos upon the world. Mana materialized. Magic stones and rare resources appeared. And demons. Demons infiltrated unnoticed. Their ambition didn't stop there. They seized gate control and deemed humanity inferior. Their headquarters were established. The Demon King's castle arose, resources under demonic control. Amidst the chaos, human collaborators emerged, pledging allegiance to the Demon King. They were called Pandemonium, a bridge between demons and humanity. But luck favored mankind. The first hunter generation rose in defiance. These hunters quickly mastered mana control, humanity's final defense. Against Pandemonium's encroaching power, the Great War erupted, humans versus demons, a brutal conflict that shattered the world. Humanity ultimately prevailed, driving the demons back. 10 years have passed, Siwoo remembered. 10 years since he single-handedly vanquished the 4 demon lords, only to be hurled into a dimensional void. Imprisoned in the demon realm, he wonders, why? Why does the name Pandemonium echo now? The group was shattered long ago, before the war even started. He thinks of his captor, seeking answers. Why are the demons stirring in the other world? Felt distinctly different. Fry noticed the change, offering his insight, revealing the existence of countless races across dimension. He highlighted the otherworldly demons' extreme brutality, even enslaving the mighty dragon species, forcing them into brutal servitude. Fry insisted that wherever demons reside, they operate like ruthless gangs. Before joining our hero, he possessed no memories, only a lingering feeling that demons had robbed him of something precious. After a century studying demons alongside Siwoo, he's convinced they manipulated his memories. Siwoo placed a comforting hand on his head, reflecting that instead of just killing demons, he should have investigated their true nature. Siwoo observed distinct differences in the mana pattern between demons and humans, and compared to a decade ago, they become masters of disguise. Phrase solution? Eliminate them. Simple. Siwoo wishes it were that easy. His younger brother arrives, interrupting the conversation. He demands to know about the sudden office rental. Is Siwoo in trouble? He suspects the worst. Siwoo plays it cool. Nothing serious, he claims. Just tracing Min-jun, he lies smoothly. Si-jun's got information. He knows Siwoo decimated an assassination organization. Was the office for planning that massacre? Si-jun questioned. He presses further. Was that office for the hit? He asks directly. Si-jun sits, his disapproval clear. He scolds Siwoo sharply. Stay under the radar, he reminds him sternly. I warned you. The president finding out would be bad, he cautions. Siwoo sighs, exasperated. Relax, he tells his brother. Don't worry. Jung-gu cleaned up everything, he explains. There's no trace, he assures him. Siwoo announces his intention to visit President Choi Dae-soo. But his brother disagrees. It's a bad move. Exasperated, Guildmaster Si-jun points out Siwoo's incomplete mana recovery. He won't stop him, but urges caution. Don't rush. He fears Siwoo will land in hot water again. The world's a different place, he reminds Siwoo. After a decade of change, Siwoo appeared, scratching his head in a monkey-like fashion. Don't overthink it, he tells his brother. Si-jun relents, extracting a promise of safety from Siwoo. He can't bear to lose him again. Switching gears, he asks about Hunter Shinjisu. Her awakening skill, he notes, is remarkable. Siwoo should check her out, he suggests. But Siwoo changes the subject. He's famished. Dinner, anyone? Frey joins the chorus of complaints. I'm famished. He blames Siwoo's insufficient mana for his ravenous hunger. Siwoo retorts with a sarcastic jab, blaming Frey's predatory nature. Exiting, Si-jun dials Jong-gu. He vents about the disclosure to his brother. But the big guy unleashes a reprimand. He reminds Si-jun of the ensuing pandemonium. Si-jun scrambles to conceal his actions from HMC. A media frenzy erupts. Every news outlet and agency. Interviews are underway to build the organization. The assassins have been eliminated. What's next? Siwoo's anonymity has a price. Increased scrutiny. The branch manager is now watching them like a hawk. Siwoo sees the surveillance as a sign of success. Jong-gu's frustration is palpable. He vents his frustration, explaining his solo victory against elite hunters is a problem. He single-handedly took down top-tier A+ hunters. Our hero suggests involving the White Lion Guild. Hammond's presence should have meant guild involvement, but Jong-gu believes Siwa's involvement would alleviate the pressure. Siwa coming forward would lighten their load. Siwoo ends the call. The conversation is over. Dinner is calling. He dismisses the issue. He relaxes on the sofa in the kitchen. He muses about his job satisfaction. The work is good. He casually inquires about demon activity. Any news on the demon front? He asks his brother. Sejuan reveals that Siwoo's victory over the 4 demon lords forced the demons to seek peace. A peace treaty led to a research institute in the polar continent dedicated to studying Earth's newly emerged man. Some nations, Sejuan adds, have even joined the research effort. Demons are now a rare sight outside the polar continent. Their past chaos has faded into distant memory. It's become nothing more than a legend. Fry finds this unbelievable. Since when were demons peaceful? The conversation turns to Crow. Siwoo notes that Crow's mana resembles a demon's but with a distinct difference. Something isn't quite right. Could she be a demon-human hybrid? Considering demons appeared 20 years ago, it's a definite possibility. A mission for revenge has evolved into something much bigger. Sensing this chase might drag on back at Siwoo. Back at Siwoo's, the long haul begins. He starts by teaching his recruits mana control. First lesson, locate your mana core. Hammond's confused. How's this helpful? Skills only surface in high-stakes battles. Annoyed, Siwoo smacks Wolf Boy. Reminder, they begged for this training. Remember? He sighs. They think mana's just for flex, like some magical gym workout. Simple-minded Voke disagrees. Control? Who needs it? Just one-shot your enemies, easy. Siwoo, the tutorial towers made them soft. Spoiled by brute force. Sensing your core? That takes finesse. Finesse they sorely lack. He offers an analogy. Imagine in inner space a reservoir for mana, known as the Dantian, your power center. Everyone awakens with a unique ability. Channeling mana into distinct skills. Mastering your core's energy flow amplifies your power. Greater control equals greater strength. Training is paramount. It's not just about increasing mana, but honing skill efficiency. Siwoo, with an air of wisdom beyond his years, chides the trio for their mere 20 years of experience. Stop whining, he commands, and follow my lead. True strength demands obedience. He foreshadows the brutal training ahead. A harsh penance for the Bestia traders. Their atonement will be arduous. Suddenly, a frantic Jungkook bursts in. Furious at Siwoo's unanswered calls. I'm not on call 24/7, Siwoo retorts nonchalantly. Jungkook, ignoring the sarcasm, insists on an urgent meeting with the director. At HQ, tension fills the air. Siwa's gaze locks onto Jungkook, suspicion burn. Did you rat me out? Siwoo demands. Jungkook vehemently denies the accusation. Before he can elaborate, 2 sharp-tongued colleagues arrive. The Gangnam team leader and his sidekick. They unleash a barrage of mockery at Jungkook's newfound fame. Chongwon's return from vacation catches Jong-gu's eye. Jong-gu's disapproval is palpable. Get back to work, Jong-gu snaps instead of harassing others. Focus on your own tasks, he adds. The Gangnam team leader ignores the squabble. He sets his sights on Siwoo. Siwoo remains utterly indifferent. He nonchalantly cleans his ear. Jang-gu intervenes. Jet lag's got the Gangnam windbag talking nonsense. Jang-gu sighed. Chongwon's sidekick retaliates with a geeky retort. Everyone's just jealous. Chongwon proclaims, his voice dripping with self-importance. His team's making international headlines, while the Gangbuk team's stuck busting small-time crook. Sayu, glued to his phone, barely registers the conversation, until the uptight aide demands respect and introductions to his superiors. Our hero instantly flips him the bird and tells him to clear his leader's personal space. Lose the fake muscles, he adds. He then eyes the aide's glasses with a smirk. For eyes blind, even with those trendy frames? The aide visibly bristles. He demands permission to put the newbie in his place. But Jungkook, ever the level-headed one, sighs. For eyes, ever heard of emotional intelligence? Chung, never one to back down. Scoffs. Jungkook, are you dead? Didn't you hear Siwoo disrespecting his superiors? Loyal Jungkook flatly denies it. Our hero flashes a confident smirk. He adds insult to injury, suggesting the orc's ears are clogged with fat. That's the final blow. Rage consumes Chongwon. Chongwon cracks his knuckles ready for a fight. He announces, loudly in front of everyone, that it's time to teach these upstarts a lesson. He'll show them who's the boss. Suddenly, the real boss arrives. Branch director Jianho appears out of thin air. The Gangnam team jumps out of their skin. Ignoring them completely, Jianho turns to the duo with a welcoming smile. He greets them, apologizing for the delay caused by the imbecile. Without a moment's hesitation, Jianho personally escorts his honored guests away. He even inquires about their tea preferences. A furious Chong-won attempts to protest. Before he can utter a word, the boss silences him. Jianho casually reminds him of his catastrophic failure in Japan. That shuts the Gangnam team up. Jealousy flares instantly. Words fail them both. Minds race, thoughts collide. What power does this rookie wield? What connections does he have within the director's inner circle? Jungkook's tense, Siwoo cool and collect. Siwoo cuts to the chase, demanding answer. The director, amused by his directness. Laughter punctuates the director's response. The talk turns to the ancient prison escort. The besturade's success, he notes. Shifted responsibility for the escort. Their branch is now in charge. Grinning broadly, he addresses the elephant in the room. What happened with the escaped prisoner? Disbelief hangs heavy in the air. He can't fathom how anyone could defeat the notorious Gert and lose to a mere wolf boy. Noting Siwoo's hesitation, he swiftly dismisses Jonggu. Privacy was paramount. The director reiterated his reasonable nature, acknowledging Jongga's impressive credentials. Yet, Jongga couldn't single-handedly dismantle an assassin's guild. It was an impossible task. Like Bestia drawing on experience, he deduced the escaped prisoner gave them a crucial lead. The organization's location was likely revealed. Officially reporting this, he stated, benefited everyone. It was the logical course of action. Ignoring a wanted hunter, however, was unacceptable, especially not on a rookie's insistence. Hitting a dead end, the director changed tack. He revealed a shared acquaintance, someone eager to speak with Siwoo. Siwoo's interest was finally piqued. SEU turns face to face with a legend. A fellow first-generation hunter, Du Kong-ho, the warrior guild's master, at his own home. At Kong-ho's residence, they share a quiet moment over tea, reminiscing, just like old times. Uncle Kong-ho remembers the shock of hearing about Shu's death. A curious Shu wonders about the familiar old man. Who's this guy acting so close? Shu also notices the man's aged appearance. Kong-ho laughs at the observation. A hearty chuckle. He points out Shu's agelessness, frozen in time, a touch of envy in his voice. He remarks on Shu's unchanging face after a decade. He questions Shu's disappearance. Even his disciples couldn't find him. Even after going through hell, they couldn't track him. Playing it cool, Shu answers, this story is a long one. Refills might be needed. A century of tales unfolds. The uncle's impressed by the sheer epicness of it all. Our Demon King Slayer voices his concern. That unsettling dimensional magic appeared at the fourth boss fight's climax. The mystery unravels. Kong-ho drops a bombshell. The fourth Demon King lives. Siwoo's stunned reaction. Tables slam. Fury erupts. A peace treaty signed with this knowledge. Kong-ho attempts damage control. Only scattered remnants of the Demon Lord's army remain. The Demon Slayer's victory shattered their power. The remaining demons claimed they were merely following their leader's orders. Just soldiers in the human-demon war. Siwoo seethes, realizing he was a scapegoat. Kong-ho calls it a necessary sacrifice. Humanity was on its last legs, resources depleted since the first gate's emergence. The demon's peace offering, the fire of truce, a promise of knowledge, a key to sealing the gates, an irresistible proposition. Humanity traded the Demon King's remains, and an Arctic lab, a gateway to another realm. For those blind to magic, to the gate's existence, this seemed like the ultimate path to progress. The consequence? Global top rankers like Choi Dae-soo embraced the demons vanished into the shadows. First-generation hunters initially dispersed after Shu's disappearance. Calm restored, the demon threat forgot. Demons faded from memory. Kong-ho's suspicions lingered. But the Mad Dog's vanishing act, that's the real mystery. In Siwoo's wake, Choi Dae scrubbed every trace of him. Only second-generation hunters and older remember the Demon Slayer. Even more baffling, his uncle didn't recognize him, despite countless battles fought side by side. This inexplicable memory loss leads our hero to a chilling theory, demonic interference. Kong-ho concurs. Siwoo, he notes, has always been a thorn in everyone's side. Our hero ponders. What could demons possibly gain from aiding such an arrogant fool, especially to the point of erasing Dae-soo's very existence? Kong-ho issues a stark reminder. Demons are a growing threat. They've even boosted human mana capabilities. Siwoo retorts. These are the same wretches who ignited a war, fueled by their belief in human inferiority. Kong-ho proposes consulting Siwoo's disciples for answers to gain a clearer understanding. A challenge. The disciples are scattered globally, but his uncle notes while disciples often stray, Yoa remains in Korea, now an S-rank powerhouse leading the Azure Flower Guild. Kong-ho reveals a troubling detail. The redhead, once his shadow, now works for Dae-soo. Our hero dismisses. Everyone has their motives, he says. They share a laugh over the expensive, awful liquor. Then, the uncle mentions his younger brother. Siwoo replies, he adores you. He thanks Kang-ho for raising Si-jun as his own. A spy snaps their picture unseen. He sends it to his guild master, target acquired. He confirms. It's the H&M clan's leader. Meeting with the legendary Kang-ho. Yoa, the guild master, confirms Siwoo lived. Just as she suspected, the Empire Guild's erratic action fueled her suspicions. Relief washes over her. Then, her knees buckle. Tears erupt. She's overwhelmed seeing the man she'd missed desperately. After she joined Daesu, Si-jun lost faith in her. Her search never wavered. Hope remained, even when all others lost theirs. Yoa's gaze fixed on the unchanged master. He's ready for a reunion. She's ready to run to him. A called name shatters her hope. Daesu questions her urgency. Nothing special, the redhead deflects. She fights to control her trembling arm. A chilling grip lands on her shoulder. Unfazed by your mother's death, he sneers. Yet, this moves you? He mocks her apparent sentimentality. Mincyu's return. I've heard whisper. Her frozen face confirms his suspicion. The one-eyed man sighs. He watches her scurry to her master, a loyal dog. A condescending pat, a clicking tongue. Still so childish, he mutters. She won't escape him easily. Not even blood ties will set her free. She rejects his touch. Her loyalty was never his to claim. He acknowledges her presence was solely due to her growing power. She became a valuable weapon, nothing more. Yoa's fury ignites at being reduced to a tool. She lashes out at the man who claims to be family. The man who abandoned her in her darkest hour. Only Siwoo offered solace amidst despair. Daesu shatters her spirit, branding her a criminal. Her hero hunts criminals relentlessly. Her past will shatter her dreams of reunion. Happiness is a fragile illusion. He reminds her of the darkness she cannot escape. He demands she face the grim reality. Demoralized, she crumbles. Silence consumes her. Elsewhere, at the guild, two rookies encounter their legendary mentor. He's agreed to personally guide them. Jisu's curiosity is piqued by the panting bear mask. The old man and the bald man join the expedition. Our hero introduces the senior duo. Meanwhile, the wolf boy suffocates behind the bear mask, desperately concealing his true identity. The juniors are instantly overwhelmed by the old man's formidable aura. Yet, Baldy casually states he'll rely on the youthful energy. He offers Jisu encouraging words, grandfatherly in tone. He speaks to Jisu with a warmth akin to a doting grandfather. So reminds the wolf boy of his probationary status, cautioning him against bullying the junior. He warns, another death awaits if the wolf boy disobeys. With that said, the team heads towards the Empire Guild's F-rank. Jisu confesses her nervousness. Thus, our hero reassures her, comparing the gate to an ordinary door. The other recruit, equally apprehensive, recalls a chilling rumor: gates sometimes devour hunters. Hunters trapped inside when the gates close vanish without a trace. Don't worry, the old man assures them. We've mastered gate control, he declares. Gates are now a business, he continues. Monsters equal valuable resources, he explains. No risk, no reward, he reminds them. Inside, a vibrant forest awaits. Grumbling erupts from the recruits. Are they all this naive? Our hero wondered. Even after Hunter Academy? He questioned. Post-graduation, Bear Boy explains. Ranks are assigned after the tutorial tower. Real experience? Guilds only, he had. Siwoo voices his apprehension. F-rank training? He scoffs. It's a weakling factory, he criticizes. Show your skills, he demands. Before the monsters arrive, he warned. Si-jun's monsters. Humiliation burns within the fake recruit. Ordered around by a nobody and with a powerless girl at his side? Unacceptable. Jisoo finally unleashes her power. The force of her own attack sends Jisoo flying. Landing hard, she's stammering apology. The trainer silences her apologies and offers a whip. Confusion washes over the recruit's face. The whip, he explains, will help her master her unique ability. Whip in hand, Jisoo focuses and tries again. Elsewhere, the pretend recruit reports a goblin ambush. From a safe distance, the trainer orders him to handle it solo. Siwoo's smug remark earns him a curse. He points out, no learning happens if he does all the work. By fighting their battles. Observing the newbie, Baldy admires his impressive tracking skill. But Byongok's control is clearly lacking. His mana depletion is alarmingly fast. Meanwhile, the recruit faces a shocking reality. Solo goblin fighting is tough. For someone of his caliber, this is agony. Panicked, he yells at Jisoo. How much longer? He demands. Completely drained, his mana empty. He collapses. A goblin's fatal blow is narrowly averted. Jisoo unleashes her power. One command forces the goblin into submission. She compels its retreat, mirroring its movement. Wolfboy and Baldy are awestruck. They're witnessing a rare domination skill. Even Fry can't contain his thrill. He pleads to devour such a rare spectacle. But Mad Dog remains unimpressed. Useless, he scoffs. Controlling one enemy is nothing. Jisoo realizes she's in serious trouble. Desperate, she shakes her unconscious partner. The goblins salivate, eyeing their easy prey. Shu's guidance has sparked a revelation about her techniques, and she's genuinely thankful. He's not bothered by her disheveled appearance. This is the only mentorship he offers. With messy hair, she manages a smile. Admitting her overconfidence was foolish. She believed hunters, awakeners, were inherently special. That rank defined societal worth. Now she glimpses the truth. Skills are tools, not measures of self-worth. Hence, the importance of training. Training is paramount. Su approves her newfound understanding. He's finished and ready to leave. The old man notices a growing crowd. He wonders if they belong to another guild. The girl explains the situation. The Azure Flower Guild is negotiating. A new gate's discovery prompted the gathering. These are the dispatched personnel. The guild's name sparks a reaction. Siwoo steps away from the throng. Curious onlookers gather. They seek answers from the guild leader about the enigmatic and the grim discovery within, a pile of slain hunters. Found dead inside. This case holds a chilling peculiarity. These hunters weren't ravaged by monsters. Outwardly, their bodies were intact, but internally, their organs were devastated. Yoa pondered the mystery. What triggered this bizarre event? Her thoughts are abruptly interrupted. A voice calls out, drawing her attention. Siwoo greets her with unwavering confidence, announcing her teacher's return. His presence changes her demeanor. She reacts to the news with uncharacteristic emotion. Siwoo seeks a conversation, but Yoa is overwhelmed with responsibilities. Yoa makes her escape. Meanwhile, Freya is roasting our guy for getting rejected at warp speed, instantaneously dismissed. Even the old man thinks she's disrespectful for that. Sayu confirms this sentiment. But it's not just rudeness. He sensed a vulnerability, like she'd been crying. He's clueless why. Let's delve into their history. Sayu found her hiding, sobbing uncontrollably. He's baffled by her distress. Her teacher vowed to always find her, no matter how well she hid. And he always did. It turns out, she was consumed by jealousy because Si-jun received superior training, all thanks to his brother's influence. While she felt insignificant, he discovered she was once starving, homeless. So he took her in. Like Batman adopting a new Robin. Yoa is perplexed by Siwoo's kindness and consideration. It seems completely unwarranted. He playfully provokes her, claiming it was a simple choice. Born into a world of sorrow, he craved a loving family of his own. He even bestows upon Yoa the title of true sister. Despite all this, the redhead flusters, continuing her childish defiance. Sayu grows irritated. He contemplates pushing her further. During their next training session, Yoa dreads him intensifying the already brutal training. He already pushes her to her limits daily. Memories flood her mind. She never desired to be the top disciple. But his weapon, someone he could depend on. Thus, her feelings ignited. Unfortunately for Yoa, she couldn't escape her tainted lineage. She reveled in her childhood privileges and believes it offers no justification. Yoa's ready to fight tooth and nail for her teacher, for the woman who gave her a second chance at life. Yoa pays Si-jun a surprise visit. He instinctively calls her sister, then corrects himself. The redhead wants to skip the pleasantries. She's got something important to say. Let's shift gears to another scene. Kongho's airing his distrust to an acquaintance. He recounts the chaos when the gates first opened. They were battling demons back then, a brutal era where powerful awakened warriors were consumed by their own power, breaking every law. And now, he's utterly infuriated that this man made deals with the demon. Meanwhile, Ipatch quickly deduces Kong-ho's already crossed paths with Siwoo. That explains his heightened suspicion. He mistakenly believes Siwoo's been subdued. His judgment is clearly clouded. President Ipatch? Sounds like a load of crap. He thinks Kong-ho's delusional too, says they're all caught up in some fantasy about him. This guy clearly doesn't give a damn about safety or protecting humanity. The three reverences? Meaningless to him. The bastard's mask is off. He's a power-hungry lunatic. Total domination is his game. He wants to push mana to its absolute breaking point and see what happens to humanity. His goal? Endless battles against powerful foes. He thinks it'll force humanity to evolve. Authority? Just a means to an end. Those deals? Purely strategic alliances. Nothing more. Global domination's the name of the game. And here's the kicker. Every world leader's already made a pact with demons. Secretly, of course. They claim it's for national security. But they all have ulterior motives. At this rate, humanity's evolution will be explosive in the next decade. He ridicules Kong-ho's doubts, claiming they only empowered humanity. Kong-ho presses the crucial question. He demands answers directly from the source. Did he strike a pact with demons? And orchestrate Siwoo's banishment? The president feigns innocence, insisting he has nothing to conceal. If Sai was back, he'll simply destroy him again. Daisu's arrogance oozes until his target arrives. Siwoo has questions of his own.